going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today is going to be based around Amorim, the man who plays the famous 3-4-2-1 electric free back, and we won the quadruple with Sporting, all while scoring over 4 goals a game. Beautiful liquid football. If you do enjoy the tactics, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and once again you can comment below any manager or tactic you want to see, and I'll get around to it. So let's get into it, look at the results. Let's do it. So, with Sporting, we enjoyed a really strong season. Not only winning the Portuguese Super Cup, the Portuguese League Cup, the Champions League, we also went and won the league as well. So, it is going to be a very good quadruple winning season. We were very close, of course, to doing the perfect 5 out of 5, where unfortunately Braga were the difference between winning everything and winning 4. I say winning 4 like it's a bad thing. Still a very good season, and as you can see, our players, especially Big Victor, were a big reason why we were so good. This lad here is such a good player, an incredible player, and their team is absolutely nuts. Some really top talent in there, and as you can see, possession-wise, incredibly strong. Goal scoring-wise, incredibly strong. Over 800 shots, the fewest shots against, the fewest conceded, and the most clean sheets. We take home almost every stat line I would want to see my team taken home. And we also take home 4 trophies, all while scoring 4.15 goals a game, only 0.41 conceded, nearly a 90% pass completion, and just shy of 25 shots a game. So I look at that, I look at this, it's absolutely incredible. Now, we're actually going to go to a team which we done even better with. And the real powerhouse of the video is going to be Celtic, where we do come on and we win the Scottish Cup and the Viaplay Cup. The only real disappointment throughout the whole season was actually not going over and winning any of the European trophies. We were not too strong, being honest, in those competitions, but other than that, we were absolutely incredible. I nearly forgot to show you the league. The league, we actually win 37 games and only draw 1, with the stats also looking beautiful. 68% possession when it comes to the pass completion. We're going to take home that this time. Most shots, most goals, fewest conceded, and the most clean sheets. In fact, we take home everything apart from the one stat line which would have been impossible for us to take home because we had the ball. We were not making tackles, so we actually take home the perfect sweep when it comes to the stats, and the data hub is going to be looking at 4.47, so a little bit more extracted from this attacking tactic, the attacking version of the tactic with Celtic. 0.45 conceded, over 22 shots a game, a great pass completion, and a beautiful tackle win ratio. So not too many more goals than Sporting, but just going from that balance to attacking version of the tactic, we've done very well. And I've even made you an underdog tactic where we do go over and test with Standard Liège, a team predicted to finish in 8th place. Are we going to improve on 8th? Something tells me we might. Of course we do. We're not only going to win the Jupiler Pro League, we're going to win the Croaky Cup against KV Kutrick, I believe that's how you say that. 6-0, we'll take it regardless, and the league was really good. No, it was not invincible. 27 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. But the stats, their championship winning stats, 156 goals, nearly double of Genk, of course a very strong team, nearly 1,000 shots on this occasion, most dribbles at 1,000, the fewest conceded, and the most clean sheets. These are stats that are deserving of a win, and as you can see, that's exactly what we've done. With the data hub looking a little bit like this, less goals I know, but still very solid, 3.9 goals per game, 0.7 conceded, over 23 shots a match, and a great pass completion. I am honestly incredibly happy with how this has gone. With this team, also with Sporting, and obviously with Celtic. Playing this way is not always the easiest thing to replicate, but we have done an immaculate job. Let's go and watch some highlights. I feel like we have to watch the Champions League final against PSG, a very comfortable 3-0 win, and you can see there, just the passing, the patience, Edwards goes through and slots it past an incredible Donnarumma, as Santos is going to find Justo. Little give and go there, attractive, liquid football, the turn on there from Fernandes. Absolutely beautiful. Diamande right through the middle into Victor. It's absolutely beautiful. What a game. What a player. Even when facing some of the best teams in the league in Benfica, we come out, we win the ball back very high up the pitch here, through to Victor, past Trubin like it's absolutely nothing. 1-0 inside of 7 minutes. Once again, winning that high up. We're not afraid to play high. A ball over the top into Victor. He's going to go alone. The Bagsman again. 2 goals in 26 minutes. And it's never ending. 48 minutes over the top from a set piece into Victor. A 48-minute hat-trick. This guy is everything. United, please sign him. We don't even need him, but please get him. Fernandes is going to go through to make it 4, and there's time for one more. I am so sorry, Benfica fans, but what better way to finish it off than with a set piece. Of course, over to your favourite part of the video, that is going to be the tactic breakdown. If you are enjoying back home, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And once again, if you enjoy rebuilds, you can find my second channel in the description, where we're posting a lot of rebuilds for the rest of FM24 and loads for FM25. So do go over and check it out if it is your cup of tea, but let's go over and tell you what you've got to do. So to start off, create your own style. Nice and simple, and of course, it is going to be that 3-4-2-1, so let's go to the three-back formations, which apparently we can't find, so we are simply going to load in any formation, and we'll work from there. So then, let's go over and actually talk about the player roles. Again, the mentality is going to be on positive, the tactical style, the clean slate, the 3-4-2-1, but it is going to look a lot different to this. So the goalkeeper gets scrapped for a sweeper keeper, who is simply going to be set to support. The back line is going to consist of 3 ball-playing defenders, so let's go and do that very quickly, all playing on the same level to clarify that as well, so no stoppers or covers, and the ones on the right-hand side is going to be set to stay wider, and the one on the left-hand side is also going to be set to stay wider as well. And that's going to complete a very solid and quite resilient back three, who are going to get some protection from the players ahead of them as well. I do want to quickly take a second to say, if you, that is right, you, want to unlock all of these wonderful perks, including access to all 3 of these tactics, also get them on mobile, on console, my rebuild files, my rebuild tactic files, one-on-one tactical help, and much more, including access to every month's giveaway, which last month was £500 split between 5 winners. It's a great chance to get some perks and some big prizes. Come on over and check out the Patreon, where you can be part of a team of 5,000 people. But let's go over and break down this wonderful and attractive midfield. So on the right hand side, we are going to go with a DLP, who is simply going to be set to support, and we are going to have one instruction selected, and that is going to be opting for tackling harder alongside of the 3 other default instructions. Now next to him is not going to be a DLP, it's going to be a DM, who is simply going to be set to support, so again, a little bit deeper than the DLP, and again, one instruction, that is going to be tackle harder. These 2 are probably my favourite pairing for a deeper sort of version of midfield players. The DM and the DLP complement each other so well, they are absolutely incredible. Now, for the wide areas, because of course this is where the sort of rest of the 4 comes in, so you've got your 2 here, then your 2, which makes up the 4 block. We are going to go with wingers. Now, they're not going to be on attack, and they are actually going to be quite reserved. So a winger on the right hand side and also on the left, and again, we are simply going to have one instruction that is going to consist of tackling harder on both of the left and the right hand side, sorry. So this is going to give you a nice mixture now, because you've got wingers that are going to attack as well, but we are not going to have them on get further forwards. They'll go forward when and if needed, but also help defend, because of course the ball playing defenders are going to be staying wide, but we still need a little bit more protection in the wide areas, which exactly is what these wingers are going to be doing. So very important you've got that covered. Now going up the pitch, we are going to have an AM, who is simply going to be set to support, and he is going to have some instructions that consist of being set to, let's whack it on, we're going to have him on dribble more, roam from the position, move into the channels, and also tackle harder. Now this is going to be a player that is going to be not too attacking, he is going to be pushing forward and roaming about, as it says on the tin, but he will also come back and pick up the ball from these 2 players here, and obviously find different channels, just play make basically, play the ball around, dribble with it as well, and just be an absolute thorn in any opposition side that you are going to be playing. And to partner him, to switch it up a little bit, we are going to go with a shadow striker on the left, who is simply going to be on tackle harder and also on default, moving into channels, taking risks, dribbling more, and getting further forward. So that is why the AM is not going to be getting further forwards, because the shadow striker is of course going to be doing that for me. And lastly, the Victor role was simply an AF, completely on the default. So that's going to make up your player roles, a very solid, rock solid goal scoring machine, a 3-4-2-1, all based off a clean slate on the positive mentality. In possession, we're going to leave it in the middle. We're going to have the final crosses down to low crosses. We're going to play out from the back while focusing down the left and also the right hand side. When it comes to the dribbling, very quite direct, to be honest. Run at defense is going to be selected, with the tempo not being maxed out but set to slightly higher, with the passing going down by 1 to shorter. In transition, we're going to counter press and counter. Again, it's no secret that we are a bit of a counter-attacking team, so we're also going to go with take short goal kicks, opposed to being quite calm and only playing it quite short to the centre-backs. We can go to the flanks, or we can also go to the playmaker, because don't forget, although it says the flanks, them AMs and the shadow strikers are going to push out and pick it up alongside of the wingers on the left and the right-hand side. And lastly, out of possession, we are going to go with the high pressing line, the much higher defensive line. You saw in the highlights how effective that was. We're going to get stuck in, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and lastly, max out that wonderful trigger press. And that's going to give you the default version, now to the attacking version, which we used with Celtic, which obviously got the most goals. So this is going to be the attacking version of the tactic. There are some core changes that actually makes us a lot more attacker minded, and I will say again, it is designed for a powerhouse team, or if you're mid-game and you're trying to chase a goal, chase a lead, whatever you're trying to do to get that goal, this would be the perfect thing to switch to. So make sure you're getting all three. And no, that does not mean you're forced to go over to the Patreon. You can copy it click for click, which is why that is still in the video. The goalkeeper does remain the same. The ball play is exactly the same as well. The DM on the left is now going to be on get further forwards alongside of tackling harder. The DLP does remain the same. Of course, the wingers on the right and the left are different. Both now on attack, on run wide, and also tackle harder. The AM now on attack, on dribble more, roam, moving into the channels, and of course tackling harder. The shadow striker remains the same because he can't really get any more attacking, and the advanced forward, he also remains unchanged. So the real big change is DM getting forwards and the wingers really contributing now to more of the attacking side of the game, opposed to a more balanced style. Again, the clean slate on the positive mentality, we are going to have a few changes, but the width is not going to be one of them. We are still going to be on fairly wide. The crosses also remains the same, playing out from the back, focusing down the right and the left, the same core principles, but this is where things take a bit of a change. So now we're going to be more expressive. We're going to run at defense as a partnership, so very, very, very attacker minded. The passing does remain the same, but the tempo is now going to be maxed out to a higher tempo. In transition, we're going to counter press and counter, still taking the short goal kicks, but this time getting the ball moving a little bit quicker by distributing quickly. And lastly, out of possession, we're going to maintain, of course, the same much higher line, the high pressing line of engagement, get stuck in, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and a maxed out and a very effective trigger press. And that's going to give you boys and girls the attacking version. But for those of you that are playing as a sort of underdog team, or you're trying to seal a game out, I've got you covered as always. We are going to go and play with this defensive variant of the tactic. So the goalkeeper does remain the same, as does the entire backline, funnily enough. No changes needed to be made. The DM on the left and on the right are both now on support, so we've scrapped the DLP for two DMs, both on tackle harder, both on support. The defensive wingers are going to come in, a role which not many people use a lot, but trust me, when you're trying to seal out a game, it's very, very effective. If you are playing a whole season, you could also just use wingers on support, just a little heads up. We then go with two AMs on the right and on the left, exactly the same, roaming, moving into the channels, and also tackling harder. And the advanced forward does remain the same because he was so good in the balanced tactic and the attacking tactic. I still want to be able to score goals. I still want him making them runs in behind, moving into different channels, which is exactly why he's going to opt to stay in the exact same role. But overall, much more of a resilient 3-4-2-1, very defensively minded. But if you're trying to seal out a game or you're a small team, it's for you. Time the clean slate, but this time down to balance. We are going to go also down to fairly narrow to compress the team, make us much more of a compact unit. We're going to play out from the back, still with the low crosses, but again, big changes. The tempo stays in the middle, the passing all the way down to much shorter, while dribbling less when it comes to the dribbling style. In transition, again, a big change. Take short goal kicks, only to the centre-backs, slowing that pace down while also applying the counter-press, but no selection when possession has been won. And lastly, out of possession, the high pressing line of engagement, the wonderful and effective higher defensive line, not much higher defensive line, and we're going to leave that trigger press in the middle on standard, and nothing else is selected. And that is going to give you, again, not one, not two, but 3 variants of Amorim's 3-4-2-1. If you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And a question of the video, do you think Amorim will ever be managing in the Premier League? Let me know. I think one day maybe. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Let me know how you get on. Enjoy the rest of your day.